Good morning, everyone. Today we thought that we'd introduce you all to everything that's available within Dynamics AX natively that really applies to the CRM and Salesforce automation. A lot of times when we talk to customers and they're looking at Dynamics AX or they have Dynamics AX installed, they are also thinking about CRM, and sometimes they want to go out and buy a third-party CRM system, or maybe they want to take advantage of the Microsoft Dynamics CRM product as well. And what we're trying to do today is really just educate you all on what's built into Dynamics AX that you can take advantage of, and when, for example, you'd want to maybe extend out to a third-party CRM, or when, for example, you can really take advantage of everything that's inbuilt into the system. And before we start, I just thought I'd give everyone a little bit of a perspective of everything that we're seeing within the marketplace. One thing to start off with, when people compare, for example, Dynamics CRM and the CRM that's built into, or Dynamics AX, is that Dynamics AX is a really good ERP system, and Microsoft CRM really isn't. It's a CRM system, but people can go out and you can build some things inside of Dynamics CRM that sort of mimic an ERP, but it's not an ERP system. When it comes to an ERP system, Dynamics AX is really the way that you want to go. But then the converse is when you're looking at the Salesforce automation, you want to go out and enable all of your salespeople, you want to give them mobile access, you want to perform advanced marketing tools, you really want to implement a Salesforce automation tool, then Dynamics AX really isn't the best tool for that, because it doesn't have a lot of the social media integration that's available within Dynamics CRM. It does have some CRM functionality. So if, for example, you're looking at for a Salesforce automation, then the third-party CRM tools may be the better option for you. But most of the time when we're talking to people, then they're not really looking for Salesforce automation. They're trying to streamline the relationships. They're trying to gather their customers together. They're trying to track prospects. They're trying to track some opportunities, and they don't need the higher level features that are available within Salesforce automation. Really what they want is CRM. And Dynamics AX works really well for that, and there's a lot of features that are built into it that you can use out of the box. You don't need any additional licenses, and you can really take advantage of a lot of these features on the user licenses that you have already. What we're going to talk about here is how you can use Dynamics AX and the features built into it to really manage your CRM requirements, and how you can, for example, track opportunities and track leads and everything that you really want from a CRM standpoint. I won't linger on this, but there's a lot of features that are really part of CRM and part of Salesforce automation. So I did a little bit of non-scientific comparison between what's within Dynamics AX CRM and what's in, for example, Dynamics CRM. And there's a lot of overlap. Some of the features within Dynamics CRM aren't as good as within Dynamics AX, and that's around the ERP sort of functions. But then again, there's a lot of functions, the high-level functions, as I mentioned before, that are within Dynamics CRM that are not available within Dynamics AX sales or marketing or the CRM functionality. So as a comparison, there's things that they both have strengths and weaknesses. But I really want to, again, show you everything that's built into Dynamics AX. So what we're going to do now is we're going to really jump into the product. And what I want to do is I want to walk through a number of the different areas within Dynamics AX and how you can take advantage of them when it comes to really managing customer relationships, when it comes to managing some of your sales processes, and also to contact management. So we're going to talk about contact management, sales management with the salespeople and the hierarchies and reporting and KPIs that you can get from there, how you can track leads and prospects, how you can manage opportunities, how you can even create simple campaigns and telemarketing lists directly within Dynamics AX. And then hopefully we'll have enough time to also quickly look at the sales portal which is a web interface, which is a really good way for salespeople to access all of this information that's within Dynamics AX through a website or through a tablet or through their smart devices that you've got out there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swap over and move into Dynamics AX. And if you're not using the sales and marketing module or the full sales and marketing module, then you may want to take a look at that. And with 2009, this used to be called CRM, but with the 2012 release of Dynamics AX, they renamed it, and they renamed it to Sales and Marketing. And this is really the CRM module or the area that's within Dynamics AX. So if we look at the areas that we've got all the common information that we've got the customers, but we also have leads and prospects and contacts. We've got contacts and opportunities and campaigns and quotations, and then all of the common features that you've got within the receivables area, like sales orders and so forth. But this is really where we can start looking at some of the features that are within Dynamics AX that you can take advantage of. Now, the first section that really we want to look at is if you start moving in and starting to dip your feet into the water when it comes to CRM within Dynamics AX, then you'll see a lot of features that are available just within the customer management and the contact management. So if I'm looking at just a customer, then throughout the system you're probably all familiar with the contact management that's here and some of the activities. But we'll look at that just for a second. So against this customer, I've got a contact that's associated with it. So I can go in and I can look at that contact. And if I open up the contact, then we've got all of the personal information that you want to track against the person or the party that's associated with the customer. Now, as a side note, this is also a function that's available against vendors and all of the other entities which are in the global address book. So it's not really a customer relationship tracking and contact management that you're doing. It's really for all parties and all organizations that maybe you're talking to that you can track this information. And we've got basic information here against the person. We've got their email addresses. We can also track phone numbers. We can have an unlimited number of addresses and phone numbers and faxes and handles that are associated with the account. We also have unlimited addresses that are associated with the account. From our contact management, this allows us to track not only the business address, but all of the personal information that's associated with the contact. So if they move around, then we can still track their home address and any other shipping addresses that are associated with them. We also have all of the contact information here, all the personal information, any personal information that we want to track against the contact we can manage here. And also, as with anything, we can put attachments here. So if we have documents associated with the contact, then we can record them. As a side note, we can also add these contacts to Outlook, but I'll show you a different way in just a second on how we can manage this. Now, also here within the contact management, or customer management, then we also have all of the activity tracking that you'd normally do within a CRM system. So we've got the ability to go out and create tasks. We've got the ability to go out and create appointments, notes against the customer, notes against the contact, and it's all built into the ERP system itself. So if, for example, I wanted to record an event against Peter Smith, then I could say called regarding campaign, and I can assign this to someone if I want to, and then also I could have additional description. So I'm tracking this information against the customer itself, and then I can always go back and I can do what you'd normally do within the CRM system, and I can view all the activities and I can see everything that's associated with this contact. Now, Also, this is going to be associated with the customer account, so then I can go out and I can look at all activity against the customer. And then also if I assign tasks to other people, then I can track all of this information as well. So at the very simple stage, we've got a lot of capability here for tracking contact information and also for tracking all of the activities and tasks that you normally want to manage. Now, also, one other feature that we've got built into Dynamics AX is the case functionality. And this is really important because what this allows you to do is if you have an incident or an issue or something that you want to track against the contact or against the customer or even really anything within Dynamics AX, then I can go out and I can create a case. And then I can go out and say this is a sales case, this is customer service, they want to do a return, and they can say product was defective. Now what this does is this gives us really the ability to manage incidents and assign tasks to people and really create a virtual folder or file system where we can report these incidents and requests and any contact that we've got with the customer and really create projects around them. So just by tracking this information here within the system, then I've now got the ability to really record a lot of information, record all of our interactions. Once we get the case in the system, then also we can assign it to people, we can have workflows associated with it. So if this is a quality issue, then it can be sent to other people within the organization automatically. And we can track how this is being managed and what people are doing. So all of this is, right now we haven't really moved too far outside of the standard Dynamics AX function because we're really here in the customer management. So there's a lot of additional features that are available in the sales and marketing area that we'll really look at. But before I do that, I really want to point out something else, that if we go to my home page, then you'll notice that there's a couple of features in here which we can take advantage of. And you'll notice that there's an Outlook setup with it, and also a synchronization option here within Dynamics AX itself. This is a really powerful tool. It's going to give you partly what you get within the larger, more Salesforce automated focusing CRM systems. But because what it allows you to do is it allows you to share information with Outlook, it allows you to synchronize information, it allows you to get all of your contact information backwards and forwards between Dynamics AX and Outlook so that then it shows up on your smartphone. And what happens is we can do a couple of things. We can synchronize the information, and what's going to happen is this is really on demand, and it's just going to go out and synchronize all my contacts and any tasks that I've been assigned. But also I can go out and I can look at all my contact information, and I can add contacts from Dynamics AX to Outlook. But also what I can do is I can import in all of my contacts that I have within Outlook and bring them into Dynamics AX as contacts. Now, let me see. So I've got Peter Smith here. If I add him to my contact, then now he's a contact. He's actually been added to my Outlook. And if I move over to Outlook and then look at my contacts, let's see. Then we've got Peter Smith here. We've got all of his information that's coming over from Dynamics AX, and it's already been synchronized. And now we can just periodically refresh this information, and we can always have all of this contact information available to us. So this is really how you really move all of the contact information from Dynamics AX out to Outlook, and then also on the converse of that, you can bring it back in and from your personal contacts and pick and choose which ones you want to move over and bring into Dynamics AX. Now, we'll look at this in more detail later on. I'll show you some other integration that we've got as we move into the campaigns. But this is the link that we have here into Outlook. I think is really cool, and we can really do a lot with that. So that's how we've talked about the really just the contact management and the customers, but there's some other features that we've got here within the sales and marketing area that we're going to look at. And that's around the leads and the prospects. So capturing leads and tracking prospects is something that you can do here within Dynamics AS. It's not hard to do, and it's really just an extension of the customer's record. So rather, what we can do here is we can grab leads, we can record prospects, and just treat them like we would a normal customer. They have the same structure, track all the contact information. But it's really just a tool that we can take advantage of. So if I look at all of my prospects, then I've got a number of prospects out here that I've received into, I've imported into Dynamics AX. And if I look at them, then they're going to look just like a customer. Because really there, at any time, I can convert this over to a customer, and then all of the information associated with it is going to be maintained within the system. It's going to be transferred, sorry. Also, what we can do is we can have a number of different prospect types. So if you want to go out and segregate your prospects into different lists or different types, for example, maybe you segregate your contacts by academic institutions or distributors or retail locations, then you can create different IDs and then you can segregate them out and you can really get more of a granular detail that's associated with these. We have all of the same address information, the same contact information, and then also we're starting to get demographic information here against prospects that is really going to help us with our sales. Now, also what we have, if I go back to sales and marketing, we have all of our leads. Now, the leads are really just our way of tracking our pre-opportunities, because what we can do is we can just go out and create a lead, and then the lead is going to be associated with a organization or a customer or a prospect. If I go out and if I create a lead here within the system, then, and it doesn't have a prospect within the system already, then it's going to automatically go and create it. So I could go out here and I could create a lead, and for a distributor, maybe we're selling a PLC, and then I could go out and I could choose a party here for someone that we've got already in the system. Or I can go out and just create a contact here. So all I'm doing is I'm just entering in the information. Now, what you'd also do here with the leads is you can go out and you can import these in from a mailing list or a lead acquisition list that you've got. So really just capturing this information and starting to qualify the lead becomes more of an importing process, and then you can go out and you can start cleansing these these contacts and removing duplicates and all of the things that you'd normally do as part of a sales management process. So I've got my AC Delco here. They weren't a prospect within the system, but now if I go back to my prospects, then it's gone out and automatically created this prospect for me, so I don't have to do anything with this lead. Now, things that you can do with the leads are you can assign a qualifying process to them, and what that's going to do is that's going to create predefined your personal stages or the stages that you go through when you're qualifying a lead. And you can also assign each of these stages to different people that we'll see in just a second. And also you can create automatic tasks, you can create automatic appointments or events that need to occur and track those here within the system. And also as you qualify them, then you can move from stage to stage. We can also assign this to someone. We can go out and say what type of referral was this. It was a third-party referral. What's the priority? It's a high priority. And then we can also rate them. And then also assign them to a sales unit, which is what I'm going to show in just a second. Also, if we want to track this lead was acquired from, for example, a campaign that we created, or a trade show, or a phone call, or it was referred to by certain customers so that we can track referrals, then we can track all of the source information. We can also go out and track, again, all of the address information, contacts that are associated with these leads. So lead management is just as part of the sales and marketing process. Now, if I want to also go out and manage how my leads are qualified, then you can go out and you can create your own processes that are associated with them. So in this case, I've got my 7 stages that I have to convert a lead into a opportunity, or convert them over into a customer. And I can have a lot of granularity here against my qualification process. And also, as I mentioned before, say for example you've got to identify the need for the lead, then I can go out and tell the system I want to create an appointment every time I have a lead coming in, and make this a discovery call. And I could assign this to someone within the organization. That could be assigned to a sales manager, or it could be assigned to our inside sales group. And now whenever I go out and I create a lead, and the lead is associated with my qualification process, then it's automatically going to create appointments, and they're going to pop up on everyone's Outlook file already through the synchronization that we showed just before. Now you can also have multiple sales processes, or lead qualification processes here for different types of leads. Maybe you qualify trade show leads differently from cold call or website inquiries, and based on how you import in the transactions, then you can really go out and treat them differently and manage them differently. Also, if you have different regions that are handled differently, that different people are associated with, then you can manage that as well. So this sales process that's built into the system, you're going to see throughout the application, because what we have is you'll do exactly the same thing for campaign management. You'll do exactly the same for opportunity management within the system as well. So the lead and the prospect management is all built here within Dynamics AX. So it's pretty good just by itself. Now, something that popped up as I was going through my lead qualification was my sales unit, or my sales teams, where I went out and I assigned a lead to people. Now, you can manage that here within Dynamics AX as well. And what you can do is you can go out and you can create whatever retail organizational structure you want, or a sales reporting structure that you want. And you can really just design it, and then if I go into the sales unit designer, and if I go out and expand any of these areas, then what you can also do is that you can assign people to any of these nodes within the sales reporting tree. Now what we're going to use this for is that we can use this for reporting, so that we can track the metrics by location or by region. And this can have as many levels as you want, and it can be as elaborate as you want. Also, people can belong to multiple sales regions at any one time. Just there's going to be one primary node or region that a user is going to be associated with as their main territory. Now, in addition to having all of your sales teams, then from a sales management standpoint, there's also a query administration. What this allows you to do is this allows you to go out and create KPIs or metrics on how you want to track your organizational performance. Now these are all the standard ones, so that you get a lot of these metrics out of the box without really having to do anything. But what you can do is you can run any of these yourself, so that you can you can get pipeline reports, or you can get profitability by region, or you can track the number of incoming calls that are managed through the sales telemarketing process within Dynamics AX. And also what you can do is you can customize these and say, what features do I want to show on these KPIs? So you can also go out and create your own personal sales KPIs. All of this is done, again, just through the sales management features that we have here within Dynamics AX. All standard, or something that you have already within the system. So, returning back to what we've got here as well, we've got all of our leads, we've got all of our prospects. So that really brings us to the next area that we can manage here within Dynamics AX for CRM, and that's opportunity management. So if we've got a lead out here, then I can go out and directly from the lead, I can go out and tell the system that I want to create an opportunity. So this is going to just copy all of the information that we've got against the lead. It's going to link in the prospect that we have here within the system. It's going to give us some more qualification information that we can manage within the application. So for example, here we can work out when they're going to buy, what's the probability of their close. We've had an initial meeting with them, what's the estimated revenue that's associated with this, and we'll say $100,000. And we can assign it to someone, and again, we can create a sales process that's associated with them as well. And it's going to go out and create all of our tasks and activities. This is also where we can add contact information, we can create contacts, and we can also track competitors as well, which I don't have any set up. But if we know that we're in a deal and we need to, and we know who we're competing against, then against all of our opportunities we can track this, so then we can get win-loss metrics based on who we're talking to and who the competitors are, so that we can be a little bit smarter as we go out and perform our sales tasks. Also, this allows us to have multiple associations for this opportunity. And what this means is I can go out and I can link my opportunity to other areas of the system. So if this opportunity maybe is associated with multiple leads or multiple prospects, or maybe we want to link it also to a customer, then we can create these associations. So we go out, and the main reason why we want to go out and create opportunities is then that we can go out and create quotations. Now, CRM systems or Salesforce automation systems allow you to do this as well, but the benefit of doing this here within Dynamics AX is that we are within the ERP system, so all of the core information is available to us. All of the pricing is available without integration. All of the availability is available to us here within Dynamics AX because that's where all the information is stored. So against this opportunity that we create, I can tell the system that I want to create a quotation directly from the system. I can fill out a lot of the same information that we have here that you'd normally have within a sales order. And also we have all the site information that we can access. And we can also start tracking all of the information that normally you'd have to rekey into the ERP system or integrate if you're using an external CRM system. But just by itself, this is saving us a little bit of time. Also, if we had contacts recorded against our lead, which I didn't do for AC Delco as I created it sort of on the fly, then we can track the contacts and we can track all of the addresses that are associated with the prospect or the lead as well. And then we come into our sales quotation, and I can just go in and add lines here. So I can say I want 5 of these, 2 of these, 5 of these. And this is because we're here within Dynamics AX, we're getting real-time access to all of the inventory. We're getting real-time access to all of the pricing. Again, there's no synchronization, and there's no chance that we go out and we quote a price that hasn't been updated within the CRM system from the ERP. And then we have a mismatch between what our quotation is to the actual sales order. So I can go out and create my quotation. I can send my quotation out. I can pick and choose whether I want to print this or not. It's going to go out and use all of the, again, the standard functionality that's within Dynamics AX to create this quotation while that's running. So we have all the standard pricing, all of the print management that's built into Dynamics AX for delivery of documents, so automatically the routing this through emails or sending it to the prospect based on the information that you've got set up on the contact record is all standard. Also, you can go out and you can tweak this and you can change all the reports. All standard functions without really having to go out and customize anything. So now that I've gone out and if I wanted to complete the the opportunity management process, then and they've agreed to buy the product, then I can firm this up and I can turn this into a sales order. Now, I can't notice here that I can't change this over. I can't firm it up because they're not a customer right now. They're still a prospect. If I go out and convert them to a customer, then well, I've got manual numbering here turned on. So it's going to ask me for the customer number. In another environment that I've got, I have the auto numbering turned on. So it would just go out and assign a customer number automatically. But I'm going to go out, convert this prospect over to a customer. I'm now in the customer record. All of the same information has been tracked against the prospect and moved over. And now that I've done this, I can firm up the sales quotation. I can print the confirmation if I want to. I can really do everything that I can normally do. And if I look at this, it's closed, so my sales quotation is completed. And if I return over to the application, go down to my sales orders, then I now have a sales order out here for AC Delco for the 3 products that I had within the system. So I've gone through the entire process. I created a lead. I created an opportunity from the lead. I created a quotation, sent it out to the prospect. They agreed on it. I converted them over to a customer and created the sales order, and now everything's flowing through as if it was a normal sales order within the system. If I return back to my lead, then, if I return back to my prospect, then we'll see that AC Delco is still there as a record, but they've now been converted over to a customer. And so I'll be able to track and view all of the complete really life cycle of all of my contacts that I have, all of the people that I'm working with, all of the organizations that I've built here within the system. Now, also, just as a side note, everything that happens here for AC Delco, if we're tracking this information, if we want to track this information, then it's a transaction log. And this is giving me the complete history of this lead. So I created the lead. It shows me the activities that are associated with it. It showed me the quotations that were created. And this is all done within the background. So I can go out and I can see that the prospect became a customer, a sales order was created, and then also the quotation itself is updated. So we always have all of this history running in the background that we can start mining and we can start reporting on so that we can track what the users are doing and how they're doing things and all the things that the sort of people that are monitoring the CRM system would really be interested in. And again, I keep on saying this, but all of this is standard within Dynamics AX. So I've gone through the entire process now of going out and creating leads and managing them, but there's also functions which are more that you really expect within just a standalone CRM system that you can take advantage of. And the areas that I want to, the final areas, or nearly the final area that I want to talk about is campaign management. So there are 2 features here which I'm going to talk about, and it's the campaigns and also the telemarketing module or area which is here within sales and marketing. The campaign allows you to go out and create a campaign with time frames associated with it, with processes that you want to follow when you're going through and sort of creating a campaign and trying to vet it out and then trying to analyze how successful it was. But also these campaigns then allow you to create follow-up lists and call lists that we'll see in just a second. Now, what I can do is, say for example, if I wanted to create a new campaign and we created one from scratch, then I can say that this is a spring special, and I can have campaigns with sub-campaigns as well. So for example, if this is a larger campaign where you're having multiple marketing projects that are associated with this, then you can roll everything up to a master campaign and then manage it separately. I can also say what type of campaign this is, so I can create whatever segregation I want, and also how do I want to target the users in the campaign. I can also go out and create a collaboration workspace. So a lot of the times now when you're creating a campaign, it's more of a marketing project, and there's a lot of different information that you want to track against the campaign itself. And some of that information you don't necessarily want people to go in and access Dynamics AX for. But it's more like you want a document repository or an area that you can manage. So what I did when I created this campaign is I told the system that I wanted to create my collaboration workspace. And it's gone out and created a website within SharePoint for me, which is just for this campaign. So if I'm gathering documents, if I'm tracking information, if I've got plans, if I've got anything that I'm doing from a marketing standpoint, then use SharePoint. It works as a great tool for sort of grabbing that information. Now, also what we can do here is I can tell the system who do I want to contact with this campaign. So I've got all of my targets, and this campaign doesn't have anyone associated with it yet, so I'm just going to select some. And I can tell the system that maybe I want to go out and grab all customers. And what I can do is I can create a query here that says maybe I want to create this for a certain segment, maybe I want to create this for a certain functional role of the contacts that we've got within the system, or maybe I just want to wildcard certain customers. But I'm just going to select everything, and I'm going to see here all of the people, all of the contacts that I've got here within the system that this campaign is going to be associated with. So now what I can do is I can just go and execute this. It's going to grab all of my contacts. I'm just checking to make sure that we've got email addresses associated with all of these. And it's gone out, and if I minimize some of these, it's created a target list of all the people that I want to include in this campaign, which could be all of our contacts. Now, if I want to turn this into an email marketing campaign, then I can have standard broadcast messages that get sent out. And I can have multiple templates that are associated with this. And if I then go to my target, then I should, if we go to here to Outlook and just set this up, and see if this works, I can send an email blast out. And it's now going out and creating an email for every one of the customers that I had on my target list, and then sending that out for me with all of the information that we had also personalized. So we've got the contact information and salutation coming in, and then also any additional reference information that we've got. So I did this here within just a couple of seconds. I went out and just chose all of my targets, sent them out. Some of them don't have email addresses, then it's going to complain a little bit, but that's where you go out and sort of tidy up your information. But I did this directly here through the campaign. Now, other things that you can do, which are neat, is that directly from this, I can go out and create a mail merge file. And what this is going to do is if I go down to my desktop, then it's going to go out and create a file for me, a CSV file, with all the information from the people that are here within my campaign that then I could go out and I could manually use for a mail merge. So if I have a standard, more traditional mailings that I need to do, then I can create that. Also what I can do is I can then go out and use this mailing address and have a template file that I create, which is really just a Word mail merge file, and create form letters and create cards, or I can create mailing envelopes, or I can really do whatever I want here directly through the campaign. So this is the automation that we've got here really allows you to do a lot of things. Also what I can do, if I want to, I can go out from my campaign and I can create a lead or an opportunity directly from these records. So going back to everything that I showed earlier on, it's really just a matter of just creating the transactions. But there's something better that you can do with this rather than working off the campaign, because there's a telemarketing function that's built into Dynamics AX that really gives you a lot more power. So what I can do is I've got my campaign, I've got all of my prospects or leads or whoever I'm working with, and I can create what's called a call list. The call list is going to create a record with all of the targets that I've got here with, that I can then distribute out to my inside sales or my salespeople or my business development group. So if I return back here to sales and marketing and then go to this telemarketing area and click on all call lists, then you'll notice here now we've got our spring special. And it looks very much like the campaign because it's copied all the information over. But we've got now all of our people here as contacts. And I can go out and I could change the status of these and say that I called them back, they're closed, and I work through these. But I can also go out and tell the system that I want to distribute these out to all of the people that I have in my sales staff. So it's gone out and I've got a number of users, and it's just gone out and assigned those to different people. This could be based on territory, this could be based on sales group, it could be based on the name of the customer. So if you have A to F gets assigned to one set of people, then you can manage this here. Also what I can do is I'm going to be clever here and assign a questionnaire, which is really a call script that I can use for this telemarketing call list. So that when, for example, the employee talks to the customer or the prospect, then if they click the questionnaire, then we're going to have a number of different questions that they get asked. So how this works is that now if I'm going out and through the call list, I look at my call distribution, I have all of the people that that have been assigned to calls. I'm going to go down, let me go down closer to the bottom. So I've got all of my calls here. If, for example, T Grounds goes out and they're calling through their call list, they click on the questionnaire, it goes out and really prompts them for all of the, how they need to ask the questions. So if they're interested in the product, yes. How receptive was the customer? Very excited about this. And now I've recorded all of the responses from the customer through the questionnaire. Now, we won't go into the questionnaires, but there's a lot of things that you can do with these. You can have different routes based on the answers. You can have a lot of different questions pop up. You can have rankings of the responses. You can stop the questionnaire if there's no interest at any point in the system. But we're really just using standard Dynamics AX functionality. So these call lists are a great way that you really manage what people are assigned and also track whether they're calling them. So from here, I can create a lead or an opportunity directly from this call list. If I wasn't the administrator, if I was just, for example, one of the owners that I've assigned to this, then actually I wouldn't see any of the other call list items that are assigned to other people. I just see what's been assigned to me. So we've got a lot of information here, and then directly from this call list, I can go into the prospect details, and then I could update contact information. I could go out and create activities. I can create cases associated with it. So I can do everything that I did right at the beginning. So this has really gone full circle, where we're tracking prospects, and then we're creating campaigns and communicating with them, and then tracking information that's associated with them as well. Now there's one last thing that I'll do before we wrap up, but there's another feature within Dynamics AX, which is called the Sales Portal. So everything we've done so far, we've done through the rich client. We've been able to sort of jump around within the system. We can have access to really everything that we've got. So we've been able to go out and really do everything through the rich client. But there's also the web client, which you've got access to as well. From the Sales Portal, users are, if they access it through the web, then they have access to almost exactly the same information. So you can see here are all of my leads. I can see all of the opportunities that I've created. I don't have any there. I could go out and see all of my prospects. Well, those are my prospects. Let me go back to my leads. And then we can drill into this information and see all of the same detailed information that we had within Dynamics AX through the normal client, except it's through just the web. For people that are traveling around, one of the things that Dynamics AX it doesn't do as well as the Salesforce automation is really that you can have a disconnected user. But no one's really disconnected anymore. Everyone's always connected through a 4G connection, or through their smartphone, or through a hotspot, or through Wi-Fi, and usually back to the ERP system. So being disconnected is, and having a requirement for that isn't as big of an issue anymore. So for all of your salespeople, when they're roaming around, if they've got a tablet and they want to go and query some information, they want to see the sales information, look up a customer, look up a prospect, then they can do that here through the web. And it's, again, standard functionality within the system. So there's nothing that you need to do here. If they want to go out and record any information, if they want to record a task, if they want to assign tasks to other people, then they do that here through the web. And it's going to be a live update to Dynamics AX because this is in Dynamics AX. There's no more as information in one system and not the other. It's really one single solution. And for most people, then this is really all they need. They don't need a lot of the extra bells and whistles that come along with Salesforce automation tools. I'm going to slow down and close this up now, because what we've done is, in this really short time, over the past 40 or so minutes, I've shown you all of the features that are built into Dynamics AX, really for managing relationship information, for managing customers, contacts, opportunities, leads, the call list, campaign management, a lot of the automation with linking back to Outlook is all standard. And what I'd like to really leave this, or the theme that I want to leave this presentation with, is that if you're looking to extend out your CRM capabilities, then you don't really have to go out to a third party in order to get a lot of the traditional features that you see within a CRM system, because all of that is built into Dynamics AX. And chances are the people that are using the CRM system will probably have access to Dynamics AX already, so they're already users and they already have licenses to access the system as well. So it's not a big incremental license change, and it's also not a secondary project to go out and install and implement some other system, because you have all of this up and running. So I urge you that just take a look and see if this fits. It may not fit. You may be a little bit more sophisticated than the type of view that I'm sort of promoting here, but at least take a look at it and see if it really fits the bill and save a little money along the way.
Thank you, Murray, and thank you for joining us today. Be sure to join us on March 12th on the Managing Your Field Service through Dynamics AX Service Management webinar. Thank you, and have a great day.